A major move by President Trump in what I call not just a war against the radical Islamic Republic of Iran, but against Islamic terrorism by taking out the lead terrorist for Iran. I have to get your reaction to the move by President Trump to take out the head of the Quds Force for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah, what President Trump did to lead this mission to take out Soleimani, it's a major strike against terrorism around the world. I mean, Soleimani was one of the most brutal terrorists that we've seen. I mean, he's literally right up there with al-Baghdadi and has committed terrorist attacks that rival Osama bin Laden in terms of hundreds of Americans that he's been directly responsible for killing, as well as thousands around the world. I mean, this guy was one of the most brutal terrorists, was plotting other attacks against America, and President Trump said, we're not going to take this, and led this effort, which I commend the president on doing, because other presidents, for whatever reason, we just never confronted this brutal terrorist, and now he's gone. He's taken out and won't be able to kill innocent lives anymore.
In the past, during the Obama administration, more likely than not, President Obama would have issued a professorial lecture to the Iranians. Instead, President Trump has taken decisive action, and it's very, very important to note that among U.S. military enemies throughout the world, the Shias are among the worst. Iran has consistently engaged in provocative action against the United States and against the United States' interest. In addition, of course, Iran has consistently supported efforts to destabilize Israel.
Check this stat out. And you think this guy deserved to die? Absolutely. In April 2019, the State Department announced that Iran was responsible for killing 608 U.S. troops during the Iraq War. Soleimani was the head of the Iranian and Iranian-backed forces carrying out those operations killing American troops. 608 U.S. troops he was directly responsible for killing. According to the State Department, 17% of all deaths of U.S. personnel in Iraq from 2003 to 2011 were orchestrated by Soleimani himself.
He was an Iranian general who was part of a terror organization. We are in a war on terror, and anytime you're in a war, another military officer, irrespective of his rank, is a legitimate military target. We took out a military target who was who represented an imminent threat to U.S. personnel and citizens abroad. I think it was justified. People say, well, what's the end state? Well, I don't know that there has to be an end state, because we took action to kill someone who was about to kill more Americans. We will deal with those consequences. We do not know all the consequences, what they will be, but the action needed to happen, and we will deal appropriately with any consequences going forward. But the Iranians, Jordan, are not suicidal. Whatever their response will be, whether it's cyber warfare or using their proxies to attack shipping or to attempt assassinations, which they've done before, we will deal with that. But this guy was a bad guy and needed to die. And personally, I'm glad he's gone.